Good evening. It's delightful to be back with you again, isn't it, Ronnie?
Yes, indeed it is. And in a packed programme tonight, we shall be hearing about Marcel Gaubigny, President of the Second French Republic, an amateur contortionist, who decorated himself with the Légion d'honneur, did a back somersault for joy and kissed himself on both cheeks.
And in Lonely Heart's Corner, we'll be introducing you to a personable, slim, middle-aged, but deeply pessimistic man who wishes to meet a mature, attractive woman with a view to possible headaches later on.
But first, the news. And it's bad news for those of you in the Isle of Wight. Masha Golding, Britain's #1 graffitist, was released from Parkhurst this afternoon and is now painting the town.
And the hunt for the two Irishmen who stole a bunch of pillar-box keys last night ended this morning. The police were waiting for them when they made the 9 o'clock collection.
Gardening expert Humber Rat revealed today that his brilliant pioneering work with giant marrows had gained him 5 gold medals and a hernia. However, he has now switched to pumpkins and has already developed 2 new strains.
And pathetic news tonight from the Mammal House at London Zoo that Ernest, the short-sighted skunk, has fallen in love with a gas leak.
Harry Bennett, the underworld's greatest receiver of stolen goods, was killed today. He fell off the back of a lorry. And now a sketch featuring Mr. Ronnie Corbett, who last week got into the wrong pair of Wellington boots and was reported missing.
Drinks, gentlemen?
Not for me, thank you, George. No. I'll have a Scotch and soda, if I may.
Just like your father before you, sir. He said to me, it will still be whiskey and soda when young Daphne is a member.
Daphne? Daphne? We don't allow women members in here.
Oh, no, sir. This gentleman here is young Mr. Daphne.
Nice day, Daphne.
Yes, awfully.
Funny sort of name, isn't it? Vicar a bit short-sighted, was he?
No, he wasn't.
One of them, are you?
No, I'm not one of them. That is my name. Daphne Saunders. Sir Daphne Saunders, Baronet.
I suppose there's nothing wrong in being one of them nowadays. I met a chap up the Leaning Tower of Pisa last month. He was that way inclined.
I am not that way inclined. My name is Daphne Saunders, Sir Daphne Saunders. I'm a happily married man with 4 children. Nancy, Edith, Esmeralda, and Deirdre. All nice lads.
Lads? A bit that way inclined, are they?
No, they're not that way inclined. As a matter of fact, Nancy fled a trial for West Bromwich Albion.
Nancy, eh?
Because he's a boy called Nancy doesn't mean he's a Nancy boy. Actually, he scored 4 goals and still refused to kiss his teammates. So don't laugh at my name.
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
I remember Uncle saying stupid people would laugh. I remember distinctly. Dear old Uncle Flo. Taking Father aside and saying, Gladys, he said, Gladys, you're only going to be the laughing stock of the neighborhood if you call that boy Daphne. I remember Dad saying, run off, Flo, run off. Get back to Auntie Herbert.
Here you are, sir. 1 whiskey and soda for you.
Thank you, George.
Mr. Daphne.
Do you know, I think I'll have a whiskey and soda as well, George. I've changed my mind.
Certainly, sir. Your father was always changing his mind.
Yeah.
He said to me once, you'll find that young Mr. Fido is just the same.
Fido?
Yes, I don't want to talk about it.
Where's your name? Fido.
Yes, it is, yes. Anything wrong, Daphne? Oh, yes, there is. Oh, yes, there is. Don't pretend to be. I've had a dog's life with that name, you know. Woof, woof, they all used to say at school. Woof, 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 woof.
Damn clever, woof, woof. Cruel little tykes, children, aren't they? Woof, woof. Damn witty. Wish I'd thought of that.
It's all very well for you to laugh. It's been hell with a name like that. I'll make no bones about it. You know, I used to say to my brother, I used to say, Rover. Why is it that Mother gave us these terrible names? She said it's not Mother's doing, it's Tiddles.
Tiddles?
Yes, my father. He thought he was the cat's whiskers. I said to my son, I said, it's no good worrying because your father has got a funny name. I said, it's not what you're called, but who you are. Always remember that, Dobbin, I said.
You are Mr. Fight.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, all right.
All right, George, you keep laughing. What's your surname?
Yes, come on, George, spill the beans.
Oh, no, sir, that would be telling.
Come on, you're here to do your show. What's your surname? Come on.
Pardon me, sir, I'm here to wait on you to grant your every whim. But my private life is my own affair.
Oh, knickers.
You called me, sir?
Good evening. I'm the chairman of the International Society for the Shy and Embarrassed, or C.I.S.E. for short. I'm here to appeal to you on behalf of the shy and embarrassed people everywhere. First, how does it start? What causes shyness? Well, we've asked hundreds of people all over the country what makes them shy. 3% said it started in early childhood, and 97% went red and ran away. I know exactly how they feel, because I myself am very shy. That's why I carry this fan, you see. It's reversible, so if I'm not feeling the life and soul of the party, I simply turn it round like this. My wife's got a fan as well, and the only difference between her fan and mine is that hers is collapsible. And it's got daisies around it. Before she acquired it, she was so shy she used to walk around with her skirt pulled over her head. This covered her embarrassment and very little else. Very little else is our daughter. Now... So I'm not as shy as all that, you see. There are many things that shy people can't do. Some of our members are so shy that they're too embarrassed to take their underwear down, and quite often their friends' underwear down, to the laundrette. We had hoped to tell you how shy people have babies, so we asked a man who wasn't shy, but we were too embarrassed to listen. But in spite of these handicaps, many shy people manage a perfectly normal hermitude, and indeed, many activities do suit shy people. In sport, for instance, shy and embarrassed people are making progress. Backwards. I mean, more and more shy golfers are playing around with themselves and are not feeling embarrassed about it. Every Saturday throughout the season, shy people will be able to stay apart for a game of non-association football. And we've just learned that the Olympic Federation have at last relented and will allow a shy relay team to leave the baton with someone else to be collected the following day. British Rail are helping our members to get out and about, following the success of their away day, and their even more successful Have It Away Day. They have now announced a special service for shy people called the Put It Away Day. Now, one of the most difficult things for shy people to do is to say certain words. And in this connection, the GPO have agreed that in future, shy people with addresses in Sussex, Essex and Middlesex can put sus thing, S thing and middle thing instead. And after complaints from people in Wolverhampton, it will henceforth be known as Wolver-Watson. This will also apply, of course, to North Watset, South Watset, and dear old Little Watset. Now, the main purpose of this appeal is to raise money to enable these people to lead a more obscure life, and to research into aids for shy people. Now, over here, for instance, you see, we have a full-length mirror for people who are plucking up courage to look at themselves a bit at a time, you see. There we are. And that's for the foot. Alternatively, we can put the money to use by sending people away for long, unadventure holidays in Coventry, where you can get to know each other like the back of your hand. And for really shy members, there's a 2-week crash course where you can get to know the back of your hand. And for our major project, the building of a clubhouse and headquarters in central London, full of hundreds of tiny little rooms where people can come and avoid each other. Please send your donation to C.I.S.E., Cautious Approach, Andover, Middle Thing. And remember, a £1 note will cover a man's embarrassment for a week. And, of course, £3 for a lady.
Jolly.
Hey, Bert.
Oh, you all right?
Oh,
Hey,
fine.
did you see it last night?
Oh, great, wasn't it? Absolutely great.
Smashing, wasn't
Fantastic.
it, eh?
Oh, what about that left hook?
Oh, yeah, and the right to the side of the head in the second minute. Marvellous, wasn't it?
Mind you, did you notice a little bit of crafty elbow work going on round the blind
I did
side?
see that. I saw that, yes. Was he really still on the floor when he hit him, like, was he?
Well, I don't know about that. I think the ref was right, not to stop it. Let it carry on like that.
The knockout was superb, wasn't it, eh? Oh, but first them little left jabs like that. Yeah. Then the right to the side of the head, the left hook to the jaw, and the right to the side of the head.
Crash, bang, well, it was all over, really.
Oh,
Fantastic scrap.
Marvellous, marvellous. They're playing Arsenal next week, aren't they?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Manhattan Transfer.
Je t'attends.
Well, a day by the sea will do you the world a good heed, if the fresh air don't kill you. Don't want you coming back with corrugated lungs, do we?
I think my George must have copped a dose of fresh air somewhere.
Oh, why do you say that?
Some of his parts are a bit corrugated.
Is this carriage all right for you?
I prefer men only.
Leave off. I'll come with you. Does George mind you going?
Mind? It's the second time I've left him in 37 years.
Oh, well, he'll be getting used to it then, won't he? Did it come to you on the spur of the moment, like?
Yes, a year ago. I've been planning it for a year, really, yes. He thinks I'm going to see my sister in Dagenham.
Oh, where are you going to see her then, dear?
Well, I'm not, dear, am I?
Oh, have you had a row again?
No, dear, I told you, didn't... Yeah, I told you, dear, I'm going to see Willie in Brighton.
Willie?
He's an old flame, dear.
Oh, yes. Let's hope the fire doesn't go out. Does he expect you?
No, it's a surprise.
Oh, well, you be careful. At 76, that sort of thing could kill him, you know.
No, not that. We weren't sweethearts in that sort of way.
Oh, I see. Yes. Well, you did very right. You did very right to hang on to your rigidity.
Hang on to that, dear, till well after George and me was married.
Yes, they've got plenty of time to restitute their connubial rights, haven't they?
I told him, dear, I said you mustn't be impatient.
No, quite right. Well, you don't want that sort of thing on your honeymoon, do you?
Listen, you will look after George for me, won't you?
Is he coming as well?
Who's that, dear?
George Formby.
I never said that. I said George for me.
Oh, George
for me.
Yes, certainly I'll look at you, providing he doesn't think he's on his honeymoon.
Oh. Mind out if he wants any help in finding something underneath the stairs.
Why, what's he looking for?
You'll know all right if he finds
Oh.
it. You're not coming in it, dear.
Yes, well, you see, it's Sid. He's off work again after that day he did last month.
Still, that's good for him, isn't it, dear? Holding down a job for a whole day.
Oh, yes. It's his legs, you see.
Oh, what's the matter with them?
He can't get them out of bed in the morning. Talking of that, have you got nice clean underwear on in case of an accident?
New pair on this morning, dear.
Oh.
On top of the old pair. Well, I'm not expecting, anything.
I shouldn't think so at your age. Listen, what happens if you get lost?
I've got a little label, dear, with name and address.
Oh, where's that?
In the pocket of the top pair.
Oh,
Oh, dear. I've just noticed, dear, there's a fellow in the corner there, earwigging, dear.
I know, I saw
Earwigging.
him. I saw him. What's he
Earwigging.
like?
Well, I can't see, dear. He's got a bowler hat half over his face.
Oh, well, say good morning to him. Perhaps he's a gentleman.
I hope not.
I mean, if he's a gentleman and you say good morning, he will raise his bowler hat and you might see what he's like underneath.
Morning. Oh, dear. I'm off, dear.
Why?
That bloke in there, dear.
Yes?
It's my George.
Oh,
Here you are, George. Oh, get that down you.
Yeah. Oh, it's not brandy, is it?
I thought you said shandy.
Yeah.
Didn't realise.
Well, what happened, George? I came in here the usual time you went around. Thought myself, he's not here, I thought.
That's right, yes, I wasn't here, was I? Because I was somewhere else, wasn't I?
Yeah, I thought that to myself. I thought to myself, he's not here, chances are he's somewhere else.
It's a wonderful thing, education, isn't it?
Yeah. Where you been then?
I've been to Brighton and back.
Brighton and back?
Yeah.
What for?
Well, I was following Edie, you see. You see, she said to me that she was going to see her sister in Dagenham, right?
Yeah.
But then I got suspicious, because you don't put on a new pair of surgical stockings to go and see your sister, do you? So I thought, she's up to something, she is, so I thought I'd try a spying mission, you see. I followed her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, he's been at home all day, most part. But...
I know, well, she hopped off the train. I didn't get time to get off before it started off, see? I was sitting in the carriage there, I was hiding. I had my hat over my face like that, see? I was trying to look incompatible, you know, in a corner. I even had a disguise on. Look, I had them all like that, you see? And I pulled her face like that, see? And even then she didn't. She still knew it was me, like that, see?
Oh, that's amazing, because even I don't know it's you now. Well, what do you reckon she went to Brighton for, then?
See her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, ex-boyfriend? That's a laugh. Eid ex-boyfriends. Who'd be soppy enough to take Eid out?
Here, wait a minute. I married it, mate.
Yeah, but you didn't take it out, did you, eh? Or maybe in the blackout or heavy smogs or something like that, you might. So what do? You're trying to talk to her, stop her going, really?
No, I was trying to nick her return ticket, stop her coming back. Then halfway back, of course, the ticket inspector clocked me.
Oh.
He got me all right. Yeah, I said, I'm not trying to go to Brighton. I don't want to go to Brighton. But they won't listen to reason, will they? All they want is the old name and address, isn't it?
Oh, dear. So you're in a bit of bother, then, eh?
Well, not really. Gave me your name and address.
You what? You gave him my name and address? Well, that's very nice, that is, giving him my name. I could be in trouble for that. I could end up in court or something
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
you're certain to, ain't you? I mean, they clamp me down and all that sort of thing now, you know. Fair dodging, yeah, about time, too, if you ask me at all.
Well, listen, why didn't you give him your name and address?
Well, there's no point in both of us getting into trouble, is there? Anyhow, don't worry about it, don't worry. I know all about soliciting, so I'll put you right.
Yeah, but I'm innocent. I'm innocent, aren't I?
You're not going to plead that, are you?
Why not, then?
No, you have to plead guilty. Saves the court time and money, see? And the judge will be lenient with you.
Oh, George.
Yeah, tell you what, we'll plead excruciating circumstances, all right? See, it's a loss of memory, so you didn't know where you was.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
you wake up in the morning, next thing you know, you're punching the ticket inspector.
Yeah, that's all right. I want a punch in the ticket, Inspector.
You was desperate, wasn't you? Desperate, you didn't know where you was.
I knew it wasn't there, didn't I?
Well, that's no alibi, is it? Not being there, is it?
Listen. Oh, listen, all right, I could go to court and just say it wasn't me. For sure, I could say
What, a
that.
grass on a mate? You wouldn't do that, would you? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll be a character witness for you.
Oh, that's nice, that's nice.
Yeah.
Cheers, George. Times like this you realise who your friends are, isn't it, eh? How long do you suppose I might get, then?
Well, it depends on the judge, doesn't it? I mean, if he's in a bad mood or a good mood, doesn't it, eh? I mean, which side of the bed he got out of, that's what it depends on, doesn't it? I mean, you could get 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah. On the other hand, if he's in a bad mood, who knows?
It's my anniversary tomorrow and all, you know that, don't you? Yeah? Yeah. Lil's gone and bought one of these black baby doll type 90s, you know, especially for me.
Has she? You look damn silly in that, won't you? All your cellmates will be laughing at you, won't they, eh? Here, I must get off out of it. So it's your anniversary tomorrow, is it?
You will stand by me now, won't you?
Of course I will, yes,
Yeah.
providing I get over the shock of my best friend being a criminal. Hey, give Lil my best regards, won't you, on her anniversary? What date is your anniversary then?
2nd of April.
Oh, tomorrow that is it? Yeah. I see. What's today then?
I knew it. I knew. You didn't got me with all that kidding on. I knew perfectly well what you were getting at. You didn't catch me with all that God's on it. I know.
I've had Rex for 3 years now, and I've always fed him on chunky lumps. He loves my chunky lumps. They're all he ever wants. Rich, solid meat straight from the tin. No gristle, no fat. Just plain, honest-to-goodness nourishment. Chunky lumps gives him so much energy, too. And what do you think keeps his eyes so bright? The answer's chunky lumps. Isn't it, Rex?
Yes, Deirdre.
dog won't touch it.
Here's a very funny joke about a man who has lived all his life in Bradford. It's quite funny so far, isn't it? By the way, talking about Bradford, I get a lot of letters about that. Talking about Bradford, this joke is not about the Indian, you know, who always slept in a bed of nails and divorced his wife because she refused to get down to brass tacks. No, I wouldn't tell that one. It is not... I wish it had been that one, actually. It's a damn sight funnier than the one I'm going to tell you. Anyway, the reason I'm going to tell this is because I have had a special request. Now, normally, I don't do a lot of viewers' requests. Well, let's face it, 90% of them are physically impossible, but this one... this one happens to be from my wife, and I'm hoping it will cheer her up, because just lately she's been a little bit under the weather, and to be honest, I think it's affecting her health in general, and her eyesight in particular. Well, last Wednesday afternoon, she spent half an hour telling our garden gnome his tea was ready. However, I'm sure this story will buck her up, because it's strange. No, it's strange, but in all the years we've been married, this joke is one of the two things that have really made her laugh. And I'm going and you're wrong about the other one. No, things have actually been a wee bit tense on the domestic front recently. It all started last weekend, as a matter of fact. I just popped round to visit our local, but unfortunately she was out, so I went down to the pub. Went to the pub, one of those quaint old rural pubs it is, you know. At one time when you went in there, it used to be really full of country atmosphere. Then the landlord put up a sign saying, "Please wipe your feet." And on this particular evening, they were holding their weekly yard of ale contest. Everyone in the pub drinks 6 pints of ale, then dashes out into the yard. Actually, it's quite interesting. But anyway, when I got home, I found there was my wife in tears because the gas stove had just blown up. It was one of those rather dangerous old Japanese models, you know, with the suicide pilot. And to be fair, she'd been on to me for some time to get her a new one. You know, she used to drop little hints like just a subtle little reminder, like she'd come back from the Indian takeaway and ram a chicken vindaloo down the front of my trousers, you know, in an effort to curry my favour, I suppose. She claims that I'm just lazy. I suppose I am a bit, really. It's something I inherited from my mother. I'll never forget, you know, when I was a little boy on bath nights, my mother, she couldn't be bothered to rub a towel over my legs. She used to stand me in the spin dryer. For 7 years, I had to screw my trousers on. My brothers and sisters kept coming up to me and saying, "Oh, there's a twist." It was very embarrassing. However, I'm starting to ramble again. Now, I mustn't do this. I mustn't ramble tonight because the producer has asked me to be brief. He wants to get away early, apparently. No, I don't ask too many questions, but I think it's probably another of his council meetings. Our producer serves on his local council. In fact, by all accounts, he did extremely well at the last elections by managing to hold on to his seat in a gay lib stronghold. Now, back to this chap who is still living in Bradford, and understandably, he's getting a bit fed up with it by now. So he decides to go on a cruise to the West Indies. Now, actually, this is the same man, you know, as in the other joke, whose wife kept going to the West Indies, and he's had enough of being left behind all the while, so he's going out to see what it's like for himself. Anyway, so he sets off for Plymouth, and he boards the ship, hands in his little ticket, and is led down some creaking old steps to the ship's hold, where all around, all the passengers are sitting there, chained to great wooden oars, just row upon row of haggard, perspiring bodies, all heaving together, you know. A bit like British Rail Ferry, really. No, actually, it reminds me of a more rickety old troop ship when I was put on during the war, to be honest. What a disgrace. I remember there was one spot of good news that owing to the shortage of space, all the soldiers had to share sleeping quarters with the Wrens. And no, the bad news was that they slept in hammocks. You've never seen a boat rock about so much in all your life. This chap is sitting there, all chained up behind his oar, and the order is given, and they all start rowing. And right at the end, there's a man with a huge drum who beats out the relentless rhythm for them to keep time with. You know, he goes, boom, 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 boom. Sounds like Basil Brush at half speed. Boom, boom. Let me know if you start getting seasick. Boom, boom. In these terrible inhuman conditions, they row and row until they finally reach the Caribbean. A man comes round, undoes all the chains, and the chap staggers to his feet, his clothes in shreds, his throat dry, cracked. He picks up his suitcase and he starts to climb out. Then halfway up the steps, he turns back to the bloke who'd been sitting next to him all the while, and he said, "Just a minute, I've just thought. Do you think we ought to tip the drummer?" The other bloke said, "Oh, I don't think so." He said, "I didn't bother last year."
If you're fond of a tune in the afternoon when you're taking toast and tea, 2 bob to a pound, you'll enjoy the sound of the Bournemouth Tea-time Three. We play every day in a small cafe with a blend of genteel glee. To the sound discreet of the Bournemouth beat, we're the Bournemouth Tea-time Three. People do like the tone of a brass trombone on a bandstand by the sea, but the blare can't compare with the savoir-faire of the Bournemouth Tea-time Three. It may sound very grand when a big brass band plays a Wagner potpourri, but if you want class, you can stuff your brass in Bournemouth Tea-time Three. Having tea a la carte, Colonel Humphrey Hart got some scones cause the crumpets make him windy. Here every day while his wife's awake cause he wants a small French tart. On a chair in the sun, Mrs. St. John Dunn, with a look of surprise kicking up a shindy, sat in a state on a red hot plate and she got a hot cross bun. We played for years while the poor old dears have a frugal tea-time spree. They drop their eclairs down your you-know-wheres with the ball. We play with a will while the teacups spill and we all get splashed with tea. So we've got dry rot in our you-know-what with the ball. Last evening I played at a concert. The piano lid fell on my head. It knotted my crotchet, my bonds hurt. I'll take up the harp instead. A stein weighs a ton, and you make up when it clobbers the home of your hat. A very remarkable A-sharp blow makes your head be flat. And my lady wife says that my forte's not been the same since that. Miss Crangle took work at a clip joint, a club near the festival hall. It turned out the place was a strip joint where they didn't like bark at all. Whatever
whenever she played, they ignored it. She fiddled while nobody clapped. But gosh, how the people applauded the night that her G-string snapped. She got a big hand on her exit. Her double bass was clapped. Mr. Green, our music tutor,
Had a rather bulbous hooter.
which he thought he'd alter by degrees,
Tried to change its shape and angle.
by insertion in a mangle.
Now it dingle-dangles around his knees. Mr. Green, our music master.
No, his nose had met disaster.
So he's learned a nifty trick or two.
On the end, he's fixed a duver.
From an obsolescent Hoover.
Now he cleans the rugs and sweeps the floor.
I went to see my agent who resides in Kent with an actor known as Sandy who's a wee bit bent.
They are really rather ducky but improvident, both very skint when their spends get spent.
They hadn't got a penny for the rates and the rent.
They were living in a tizzy in an old scout tent.
My agent got abusive and his temper went.
Kicked up a stink for his 10%.
When I said I hadn't got it and I told them flat, Sandy got his dander up and watched their cat do a little naughty in my best straw hat. So my agent's going to get his 10% of that.
Hooves full of fun and frolics, baths full of bun and rollicks.
Wells has hotels full of residential alcoholics.
Pools full of fish and chippers, ghouls got a lot of trippers.
Thrills full of thrills, but old Bournemouth's quite polite.
No automats, no whelks and sprats, no big floppy hats.
You can stink, kiss me quick.
It's all top brass, high teas, high class, don't walk on the grass.
You can all kiss my hand.
Potato, very obligato, getting pizzicato every night. Down up north if we're all right. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
That's just about all we've got time for tonight, but here are some late items of news. At a novelty dinner dance in Hales Owen tonight, everybody had a slice of Battenberg before the cakewalk, a poultry patty was followed by the turkey trot, while the prune and rhubarb pie led to a general excuse me.
And there was confusion tonight at the Odeon Cinema, Workington, when Alma Nibbs, the senior usherette, accidentally sat on her torch and showed herself up in the circle.
Finally, Britain's thinnest and hairiest man, Arthur Stringbean, the human pipe cleaner, was rushed to hospital tonight after eating an entire £30 Christmas pudding. Doctor said he should still pull through.
Next week, we'll be talking to a mathematician from Addingham, a wrestler from Nottingham, and a plumber from Flushingham. And doing our best to ignore a loudmouth from Effingham.
Until then, it's good night from me.